Welcome back to another episode of the Gimmick Podcast.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tyler. As you can see, if you're not a scrub and you're watching YouTube, you can see that we have the new mics installed.
Yay!
And we'll actually be using audio from mics this time, unlike last episode where it only picked up Rachel's mic. Only picked up Rachel's mic, so I had to use the camera audio, thankfully, and I will always put on that fucking mic on there just as a backup. So if it ever sounds bad, and I'll put it in the description, it's because the mics didn't work for some reason. And I've tested these motherfuckers out. I've made sure I learned the fucking stuff. If it doesn't record, and it shows each of our mics working on there, so if it doesn't work this time, I'm gonna fucking kill someone. So I also was thinking this is totally random, but it has to do with the mics. Is I was like, dude, I could create an ASMR channel now. Like I'm just like, hello there. I know you can hear me. Maybe it's not really showing up. It does show that it's moving, but the waves don't look as big. You're now in the clouds, high up above.
Why are we whispering?
Wait, don't you know what ASMR is?
I do. I'm being facetious.
The cuss and the sus and the buzz. When you do it, it actually really fucking annoys.
Dude, some of those sound so gross. It's like somebody's like whispering in your ear, and it's like, ew.
Did they do something that made their mouth really water before they start talking too? Because it always sounds like
nope.
As they're talking. I can't. It makes me just like, I can't do it. So. Yep, new mics. They're a little bit big because, the mics themselves are kind of big, but then the shock mount is just a fucking beast. And I had an issue with these other shock mounts that were nice, small, and they were black, so it
didn't quite fit.
all went together. But yeah, they didn't fit, even though the description on eBay said, it literally was in the title, only this mic was in the title of it. So I assumed...
So you'd think when you got that mic,
it would work. No, I tried to force it open. I got it around it eventually, but it just was clearly not going to work. And I even put it into the shock mount, and it's like the little rubber bands weren't holding and stuff. So I'm like, no, this is not meant for this mic. So hopefully they'll give me a refund. I already shipped them back. So, I mean, one of them's not going to be in the best condition, but I thought I was missing something. So I forced it because I was like, I'll force it and use it, but it was unusable. So that's on them. And then these XLR cables, I didn't even know if I was going to get them in time for this because the shipping is horrible right now. And it doesn't help that they lied where they shipped it from. They said it was from California, but it was from Kentucky. So don't fucking lie because you're going to get negatives for that. So
I feel bad for all the postal workers out there. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Keeping things going, man.
And it's not because it took forever why I'm mad. It's because they said it was from California, which it should have been here quicker then. Not take I ordered that shit on the 6th. I think it was the 6th. And it's the fucking it's the 15th, I think. So, yeah, 9 days. So, unacceptable. I think I hit the mic too. But, so we should sound really fucking good now.
Hopefully.
We each have mics.
Hopefully you're not tired of our voices.
Yeah, well, you could just hear everything really crisp, and there shouldn't be any we had the air conditioner on, got up to 90 degrees, but we have it on, so that might pick up. I'm not sure. It's really far away. I don't think it should. If we're talking enough, it shouldn't pick up the air conditioner. So, yeah. So
I was thinking, since, it's the start of a new year.
You gotta get closer to the mic. Okay, so I sat there telling her to give me the distance from the mic that you're going to be. And I go, I don't feel like you're going to be that close to the mic. She was right up on the fucking thing. And I know her, she's too shy and she'll back up.
I'm going to project.
But the thing is, the farther away from the mic you get, the more echoey it'll sound.
Okay.
So you want that warm sound.
Right.
So you got to get within a fist of the mic. So I had mixed everything. And then now she's changing it up. She's not as loud as she was. She's sitting back and stuff. I'm doing this for your own good. So we get good quality audio, okay? Go ahead.
Anyway, so I was thinking, I know that 2020 was a dumpster fire, and based on our trial subscription to this year, it's going to be a dumpster fire too. But I thought we could sift through 2020 and like find some of our best ofs or things that we enjoyed. And like anyone out there, like please, comment like what made you happy this year? What whether it's a book or a movie or TV show or an experience you had this year, maybe that was good.
That wasn't COVID.
I know. But I mean, I guess it's about finding those little joys,
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, one of mine would have been, I guess, the new Steven Universe show that was out, which is kind of more of a continuation. It's called Steven Universe Future.
Wait, there's a new one?
No, it's the one that I watched this year.
Oh.
It was a really great way to wrap up the show. And I like that we kind of dealt with the fact of like, how is all the crazy stuff that happened during this show gonna affect this child? How does being like a chosen one affect this child when suddenly that's over? You don't gotta be doing all that anymore. Like, what does that do to you? How do you react? Like he spent so much time like making sure everybody else is okay, but he's not taking care of himself, which is like super important. And I think it was actually a very fitting, like teachable thing of this year is take care of yourself.
Yeah.
How about you? What are some things that you enjoyed that came out this year?
See, I don't know. I've been since July when I started doing the motocross videos. I've been so busy that making time for stuff is kind of hard, and a lot of stuff didn't really come out this year. So I'm trying to think of like what came out. Oh, what did I enjoy? You said?
Yeah.
Tenet.
Tenet was
I like that one. I just got the
fun.
Blu-ray this since the last podcast I got it. So I finally figured out how they did everything, and it was a lot of different
He loves
stuff.
behind the scenes stuff. He loves learning about all that.
Yeah. Well, I just got to know how the fuck they did it. I was like, I don't know.
They did a lot of fun effects and things in that movie.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Nolan, but it was interesting to see.
Yeah. I got to rewatch the movie, though. I watched the behind the scenes so far. I haven't watched the movie yet again. So need to do that just to really understand the story, because it's one of those I feel like you got to watch twice to really understand it.
Nolan films tend to be. Like you'll pick up on
it's kind of like geometry class. I don't know if I said this last time, but it's kind of like geometry class where you miss one. What is it called? You miss one formula.
Listen, yeah.
And if you don't hear that, or if you don't understand that formula, they keep reusing it, and you're fucking lost. So if you miss one concept or one thing in his movies, except for Dunkirk was the only one where it was like pretty straightforward, just different. He tried to mess with it a little bit with the timing of like who's where at what time. But besides that, it was pretty straightforward. All of the other ones though are like, if you miss one thing, you're fucked. So yeah, probably Dunkirk. Besides that, I don't know one else.
Well, The Mandalorian, did you enjoy that? We watched that together this year.
It was okay. I don't know how to feel about it. We're gonna see if there's no more Baby Yoda, so
well,
what's gonna happen? Is Luke gonna die? So
I really enjoyed Birds of Prey.
I want to know what Baby Yoda looks like now, because we've gone forward. Like how? Like he's not gonna look that much older, but he's gonna not be a little baby anymore.
Well, we'll see what happened to him.
They're setting this shit up for the next movies.
He was one of the Padawans at the school. He
didn't die.
Do you remember what Kylo did?
They're not gonna show Kylo Ren killing Baby Yoda.
We'll see.
Do you think they're gonna add that moment?
Well, they're
somehow.
It's implied that nobody survived.
No. That was Anakin. This is after.
No,
Anakin.
but then Ben does the same thing.
You're saying
he goes back and kills
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
That was like a little hut area, though.
No, basically, after that happens, he comes back and slaughters all the other students.
But the thing is, Baby Yoda is so damn strong. I don't think Kylo Ren could take him on.
Oh.
Think about it. He held that big ass rhino back, and he's a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, like, all he has to do is protect himself.
Well, it's implied, at least, that that the child would have been slaughtered along with the rest of the Padawans by Kylo.
No.
Your fave destroyed happiness. Goodness.
That'd be cool if they did the scene with that and that's what ends up. I feel like then he's been trained more than enough.
We'll see. I think they're going to bring them back together.
That's many years later. Like, how long do you think they need to train Baby Yoda?
It's 20 years later.
But what I'm saying, though, is how long do you think Baby Yoda needs to be trained for?
I don't know.
I don't think it's 20 years. That's a long fucking time.
But the maturity of the child kind of implies that Yoda had a similar life cycle, which kind of cracks me up. The idea of the Jedi Council trying to keep Yoda from, like, eating frogs and shit. And, like, keeping him out of trouble as he matures.
Yeah, I
think that's funny.
Like, this is as close as we're going to get to a Yoda origin story. Like, what we would think he would act like and stuff without it being him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder if they're going to have some, like, mysterious... We still don't know where the baby came from.
We don't?
Who made this baby?
We don't know.
Could Yoda have made the baby? Could Yoda be the father? As Yoda chops his hand off because he took a ball. He chops his hand off and he goes, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Father I am. And then the Baby Yoda goes, and then, he chops his hand off when he goes, as he does the 3-finger thing when he's reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
That would be entertaining.
I don't know. They've kept that backstory so mysterious. We'll see what happens.
Well, the thing is, it's like you can explain a backstory, but then you have more backstory that there's never an end to backstory with Star Wars, because if they put a little hint of mysteriousness in the backstory, then you need a backstory for that backstory. Like with Solo.
Right.
There were mysterious people. We don't know what their backstory is. Like, what about the guy with the little laser or little saber daggers? The one that is Vision. That guy.
Oh, I don't know.
He was like one of 3 baddies in that film.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fucking real villain was of that.
Well, it's kind of implied that it's Maul and his ex.
Maul is the one in charge of everything in that, spoiler alert. But he didn't know that, I don't think. Did he know about Maul?
No, Han didn't know at that point.
Not Han, but Han still doesn't know.
Right.
She never reveals it. No, but I'm talking about the bad guy in it. The Vision guy. Guy that plays Vision.
Mm-hmm. Well,
does he know about Maul? Or is Maul a surprise? I forget.
I kind of assumed that his ex's boss, Paul Bentley, that he was the one that was initially contacting Maul. I assumed he was going to be the next Sith, another Sith. But by getting rid of him and calling him at the end of the movie, I assumed that was her kind of taking his place.
Taking whose place?
The Paul Bentley. Like, I'm the Sith, like, apprentice now.
Okay.
Because that happens a lot in Sith circles.
I see what you're saying.
You kill the previous and then you take their spot. That's like a thing that happens among the Sith because they can't be chill. Like, ever.
So it's like, how are they born?
They're
normal.
Well, you have.
Are they born out of lava?
No, but it's Jedi ability and whatever, and then you choose the light or the dark.
The dark side of the Force.
So yeah, I liked The Mandalorian. It's still doing well. That was kind of fun to watch. I also really liked Catherine the Great. That one is good.
What is that?
It's a Hulu show starring Elle Fanning as Catherine the Great as she goes to Russia, gets married, finds out her husband's a freaking psycho, and then plots to overthrow him.
I got a question. Is Fanning, is that like Dakota Fanning?
Yes, his little sister. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
How have I never heard of this person?
I love Elle Fanning. I think she's cool. And no, this show is not historically accurate.
What has Elle been in
The
before?
idea, she's Neon Demon. She's been in a few things.
Okay.
I really liked what I've seen her in so far. I liked her in this because you really know it's not historically accurate, like not even a little.
Mm-hmm.
But they still capture like the spirit of like, yeah, that seems like how Catherine would have handled that. Or like you get the sense of her as a woman from her writing and the people around her that this feels in line with the way she would have responded or acted or said.
Yeah, we still haven't seen that Sherlock movie that has like the chick from Stranger Things and
Enola Holmes. Yeah.
How have we not seen that yet? I was so hyped
to.
for it when I saw the trailer, and then it came out and we never saw it.
I know that was it's on our list.
No, we got to remember though. It's like every time we're thinking about watching one thing, we'll get distracted and I'll see that pop up and I'm like, fuck, we need to watch that. But I'll never remember it when we're trying to decide what to watch.
Right.
So, and it's just a movie. So it's like, we get done with it pretty quickly. It's not a series.
Right.
Which we're about to start WandaVision that just came out today, the 15th. Yeah, so yeah, we got to watch that now. But I think that's only 8 episodes. So that should be, 2 days of watching. So
speaking of superhero stuff, I really liked the Umbrella Academy second season. That was pretty cool.
I haven't seen that yet.
Really worked for the timing.
That's a live action TV show, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It actually really worked for this year because we're averting another apocalypse. Another one. This is kind of funny. I love the development of a lot of different characters. We all know how I feel about Robert Sheehan. He's awesome. He's my favorite. Everybody in it's so good.
You say Robert Sheehan?
Sheehan, yeah.
She-him.
Sheehan.
She-hen?
Yeah, she-him.
She-him.
Sheehan.
Sheehan.
Yeah. Like Cheyenne? Sheehan.
Sheehan.
Yeah. Robert Sheehan.
What is his race?
Irish, I believe.
That's an Irish last name?
Yeah. That's very Irish.
Sheehan.
Uh-huh.
Does not sound Irish or something.
He does, though. That accent's very Irish.
The thing is, I don't know who you're talking about. That's why I was going to be like, who is that? What have they been in?
Yeah. Misfits that we watched.
Oh,
yeah,
which one is he?
Nathan.
Nathan, the one that falls and gets stabbed on the fence?
Hey.
Dude, that show has been around for fucking ever, dude. We just spoiled fucking Solo.
I know.
And that came out way after that.
But anyways, he plays Klaus in this show.
If we ever mention a show, by the way, or a movie or anything, just assume spoilers are going to come. So you better pause that bitch the moment you hear us say a show and like fast forward by like 5 minutes.
Sheehan's really good. Number 5. Like, just they found this kid on Disney Channel and like he just struts up in here with all of like the skill. And it's just, what? Like, he's so good. This kid is so good. And it always, like, every time, like, I think about him, like, he surprises me again. Like, just how, like, everyone is so well-suited in their roles. Everybody's so good in that show. The whole ensemble works together really well.
Yeah. I don't know what else there happened this year.
Lots happened.
Not much. Not much of entertainment.
Hamilton.
Dude, that feels like forever ago.
I know, but Hamilton was last year. I loved that.
When did Hamilton come out?
It came out in August. I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed getting to see that on Disney Plus. That was a lot of fun. I love Hamilton. I love Lin-Manuel. So I was excited to finally actually get to see what it looks like, the whole thing. Like after listening to the album for so long.
Wait, when did you say it came out?
I think it was like August.
Dude, that feels like it was way farther, like long ago.
I know, right?
August. Wow, dude, that does I swear August wasn't that long ago, but it feels so long ago when I remember you watching that and just
time is so elastic right now.
All day.
But yeah, I'm so excited for Tick Tick Boom.
Oh my God.
Netflix, you make me so happy.
Dude, so I saw a trailer of like stuff coming to Netflix because they're releasing. Apparently, I don't know when it starts, if it starts this last weekend or the beginning of the year. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but they said a movie every week for the whole year. So they could only show us so much. That's 52 fucking movies if they do a whole year. But I was showing Rachel so that we both would see what's coming up. And so I didn't see that Tick Tick Boom was on it. And then that like popped up. I didn't even really think anything of it. And Rachel fucking flipped out.
I was so excited.
And she wouldn't shut up about that movie or whatever it is. She kept talking about it for hours. It's just, this is why you can't watch certain things with her. Because she, like, that was just a clip. Not a whole scene. Literally like 2 seconds. And you freaked out. You like researched things.
Because I didn't know, because I knew that it was gonna happen. Like he was working on Tick Tick Boom, but I didn't know how far into production they were. Like I didn't know I was gonna be getting this soon. Like, and Andrew Garfield's playing the main character. Vanessa Hudgens is in there. There's so many good actors in there. I'm so excited for it. And I can hear it and see what Lynn's gonna do. And I just know because Tick Tick Boom, quite frankly, I love Rent, don't get me wrong. But I prefer Tick Tick Boom. It's so good. I can't wait. It's perfect too because us the millennials are gonna eat this shit up. Lynn knows exactly what he's doing. All these theater kids that grew up with Rent and all the 90s and the Jonathan Larson are going to freak out. And all the people that don't know it and go into it, this is such a millennial musical that I'm so excited for it. It's about,
oh my God, I fell asleep. Holy shit.
It's about, fear of aging and, figuring out where you belong in life and you're working a sucky job you don't necessarily care for, but you're trying to stay true to your passion and juggling relationships and work and family and friends and all these things. And he's so stressed and anxious throughout most of the musical. I just feel like this is the millennial lane. This is gonna hit so hard. And I am so excited for everyone else to figure out what a fun musical this is. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun.
Thank God we let her get it all out at once. I didn't interrupt her. She just had to get it out, guys.
Yeah, duh.
We made it to the other side. You're glad I didn't put you through the torture and had recorded her that day because it was literally for hours. She kept talking about it. I'm like, my God, I feel like I've experienced the movie already.
Well, just my mind was conceptualizing everything and I was just so excited because I could hear everybody's voice.
She's looking up cast lists and looking up. She went as far as, I think we got a cut soon. She went as far as looking up footage, it sounded like, of Andrew Garfield singing.
Yeah, Yeah, because I need to know how he's gonna sound.
She literally is a casting director.
Hey,
that is what she's doing. She's casting a movie, essentially.
Dude, I was not the only one that did this, BT dubs, because those searches went zoop. And the exact same thing. I'm literally, all the comments I was reading under those videos I was looking up were literally people that had done it like 20 minutes ago.
That's not a good point. That just means there's a lot of nerdy, obsessed people.
Yes. Yeah, we're theater kids. What's your point?
Oh my gosh. You are not a theater kid. I figured that out.
I'm an aspiring theater kid because I came from a little podunk town that had like no arts program.
Not a theater kid, and she always would claim that she was. And then I asked her, I'm like,
I'm an aspiring theater kid.
What was it you've been in?
I was in a couple musicals in school, and I was in a choir in and out of school. I did band for a minute. Like, I did a lot of different things, but not necessarily like school musical, school play. Like, not a ton of it. We just didn't have those kind of resources. They just didn't give.
But it's weird that she claims that she's a theater kid, but doesn't.
Well, because I love all that stuff and looking at it and listening to it and reading it and like I'm very much in it.
Without being in it. Be like saying you're a soldier and never been a soldier.
Well, it's different when like you have the access and don't have the access. Again, that's why I was excited about Hamilton.
That doesn't mean you're a theater kid.
I was never going to get to go to New York and see Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I was never going to get to experience Lin-Manuel Miranda or Leslie Odom Jr. or Daveed Diggs, but through the magic of Disney Plus, I could. I could see it. That is exactly what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I don't need a full-length musical thing. Give me the pro shot. That's fine. That's exactly what the fans wanted. Just let us see what it looked like. We were never going to win the Hamilton ticket lottery, which there literally was, because it was so freaking like big. We were never going to win that lottery. I was never going to make it to New York to go see this thing while Lin was in it. So, you know what? At least I get to see the pro shot. I can geek out and be excited about that. I also really liked Beyonce's Black is King. That was really fun. Again, Disney Plus. But
what is that? Oh, it's like a documentary?
It's the visual album she did to go along with The Lion King.
Wait, it's on Disney Plus? Mm-hmm. Oh. She must be making so much fucking money from them. Oh, yeah.
From everything.
Yeah, but it's Disney.
She's got so much money.
Like, they pay premium for music, and it's fucking Beyonce.
Exactly. Honestly, I almost preferred the visual album to the movie.
The thing is, she probably doesn't own any of that music she made for them. Because it's Disney, and they're going to pay you to own that fucking music forever.
I don't know. Beyonce keeps the tight grip, man.
I don't know,
man. She keeps the tight grip, and I respect it.
I don't know.
But it was really cute. Like, I always love when we get to see Blue Ivy. Because she's just so adorable. I love it. I love when they bring the kids with them. Because they're so cute. There's one point in one of the songs called Power where it starts with Beyonce doing a move. And then it cuts, and it's because it's the beginning of Beyonce's verse, and she said a couple lines, and it goes to, it's that bloodline, it's that kinfolk. And it cuts to Blue Ivy doing part of the dance and everything too. I just love it. And just the clear, like, confidence that she has when she's doing it with the little hands on the hip and the, like, very expressive body language is so fun. I love it. I love it. Blue Ivy knows exactly who she is and that the world loves her. Mm-hmm. And getting to see the little
She's
twins.
Gonna have the problem is her daughter is gonna have like the biggest fucking ego ever.
Yeah, you're Jay-Z and Beyonce's kid. What you gonna tell me?
I wouldn't want to be around a person like that, though.
But here's the thing, like, there is a video of her doing stuff, and she is clearly a very talented little girl.
Yes,
which of course she is. She is Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter. That's a lot of skill and talent.
There's a lot to live up to in the fact.
Yeah, that's the flip side of that coin.
Yeah, you got a lot to live up to, and then the fact is everybody is cheering her on to the point of she hasn't probably ever really seen much of a negative side.
Oh yeah, she has.
Her ego is going to be through the fucking roof.
Oh,
do you not
yes,
remember?
she
I'm pretty sure
has.
she's the one where she had pictures of her in like a stroller and then like doing sassy shit, and people would be like,
"Oh, she's so funny,"
finding it fucking hilarious.
Oh, Blue's so funny. Watching Blue look at photographers like, what are you even doing? Like, it's just I love it. It's so funny.
People
like, as you are a child, clown these adults that are being ridiculous.
So much.
I love it.
It's probably like just the perfect timing of a photo that makes it look that way.
Oh yeah, Blue Ivy got her share of crap.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
She probably has so many people.
They used to make so many hair jokes about Blue. Like, Beyonce needs to brush her hair, blah, blah, blah.
So that's by the same people who probably cheer her on then, because who gives a fuck?
No, it's people like, it's a little bit of that internalized racism thing of your hair needs to look a particular, like, smooth and flattened way, or, it's all those stupid European beauty standards that can get internalized. It's But anyways, point being, I loved seeing Black is King because it was so fun to like, she got introduced to like a lot of the mainstream to a few different like South African artists and like basically like, let's go to Africa and film and let people see this place and how beautiful and how much variety there is here. And it's cool. It's like, and I love getting to see the twins. They're so cute and they're still so little. How precious is that?
You say twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
Who?
The kids, Rumi and Sir.
You're talking about?
They had a couple of twins a couple years ago. Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Wait, so they have like 3 kids?
They've got 3 kids now.
Oh.
Blue's the oldest, and then she had twins.
The twins the one where she took the picture in like that weird ass like flower thing or something? That looks it's so strange you can't look away.
I thought it was cute. I didn't mind it.
You're like, what is that? I couldn't look. I didn't know what it was, but something felt weird. I don't know what it was.
I thought it was cute.
It was really fucking strange when I saw it. I was like, this is a thing now. And what I was really worried about was that other people were going to start doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's Beyonce. And I'm like, dude, we're going to have these weird fucking trend of people making weird ass like pictures. I still find it super strange. People take photos of like their stomach and shit when they're pregnant.
Why not? Document it.
Who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a fuck about your kid when it's born. Why do they care before it's born?
Ask a conservative politician.
I don't give a fuck about your stomach. I don't. You're making it weird. Stop it. Stop. I'm not going to. No, I don't want to stare at your stomach. Stop this shit. It's weird.
It's excited parents being excited.
Oh my God.
So I'm excited just like excited for them.
Excited parents are the worst.
Oh.
You got Oh, gender reveal parties. Oh, fires. Oh, in California for some reason. Stop it. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
See, we did a little gender reveal for my sister's kid, but it wasn't anything like. Yeah.
You planned it, not me, but you did it, and it was a balloon. But people were so excited.
We did a little cake thing.
People get excited about if there's a dick or a vagina. Don't know why.
The concept is weird. I always thought of it as more an excuse of, hey, we're having a kid, just celebrate with us for a little bit. And here's the thing, like, I personally don't feel like there should be gifts at a gender reveal. But yeah, it like for my siblings' gender reveal, we did a little thing. We didn't expect, there was no gifts or anything. It was just a fun little party we had just to like hang out and be excited with them and celebrate. I don't see anything wrong with that, being excited and wanting to celebrate with the people you care about and share a moment with them. But there is definitely a flip side to that too, because you don't know how you're going to react. What if you find out what if you find out and you're super like
you can't
upset.
Be wanting one thing.
You have to be really careful them circumstances that you do a gender reveal under.
Well, the thing is, one thing is like trying not to show it there, But you know what it is afterwards, and you're going to be just as disappointed. Mm-hmm. So why the fuck do you do it to yourself?
Yeah, you
go adopt if you care that much.
Well, it's just you can't always anticipate your reaction.
Well, go adopt. You want a daughter only? Go fucking adopt a daughter. Why do you putting it on this genetic thing that's just going to happen?
Please do. As a person with adopted siblings, yes, please do. Foster and adopt, and there are kids out there who really would love a good home.
You get to pick the perfect baby. If you can,
please do. No, you don't.
Yes, you do. What do you mean you don't?
There is no perfect, okay?
There's a perfect one out there that's just for you. You'll know it because there's no other kid like the kid you'll find, so it's perfect.
Anyway, you can figure out how well you mesh with a child, or
go in with the fur coat. Preferably white with black spots, red lipstick, one of those long
Cruella de Vil.
Yes. Go in there and find the perfect kid. You want just the right genes. Maybe maybe speak a little German. I want one as one with the blonde hair, or I don't even know how to speak.
Oh, no.
The blonde hair and the blue eyes. Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Give me the one with the blue eyes and the blonde hair.
You're not going to get accepted into this adoption program, sir.
Just find the perfect one and call it you have the thoroughbred.
It's not how it works. Our family didn't intend to end up adopting, but...
Wait, you're telling me that these kids aren't in cages, just sitting there waiting to be adopted, where they're going at a window?
Well, unfortunately, right now with the stuff at the border, kind of.
No, but I mean, when you're adopting, is it one of those big giant houses like they have in the movies?
No, because it depends on where you're at and what services are around you. But in our case, my siblings were adopted out of foster care. So when you as a family apply to be a foster family, you go through all the different all the little hoops and hurdles and all the little things you got to do to be a foster family. And, they assess and they do interviews, and there's all this stuff that goes into it. And in the end, once you've been accepted, you can also you can also choose what you feel able to handle. Initially we didn't have babies as part of ours. Mm-hmm. We had 2 and older. Mm-hmm. And you can pick what handicaps you're able to handle, or that are gonna be accessible and you're able to deal with. You can pick age, gender, all that stuff.
Pick the one. Never mind.
So what's funny is literally February 13th.
Skip the first year. You don't want the newborn.
You do, though.
Go for the 1 year.
You do. You should have seen.
You get past most of the shitty diapers and the sleepless nights. Why do you take the worst part?
That's not the worst part.
The worst part.
But anyway, so.
Skip it.
It's funny because February 13th, we re-upped. Essentially, because
dude, it's like a drug deal.
Well, re-upping
is just re-up. Did you just use a drug term?
No, I used a term that's used in a lot of different situations. Basically, you're reapplying, or you're keeping your license current.
Yeah.
So it was February 13th. We got the continuation on our license, and then. While they were doing all this, my mom eventually, okay, yeah, I feel like right now we could handle a baby. So, you can add that onto our certification. Literally the next day, here's a 1-month-old.
Jeez.
I know, and that doesn't happen. Oh, you should have seen the jealousy on a lot of these other foster family faces.
I've always wondered, what's the latest or the longest you can have one, and Return.
Are you trying to say return? Jesus.
I'm like trying to think of a different word. What's like the latest you can have an adopted kid and then decide you don't want that adopted kid?
Well, if they are adopted, it's your child.
From day one? There's no like 30-day grace period where you're like, I can't handle this?
Well, I've never really investigated that, but I know there was that controversy with that YouTube family that essentially returned the kid they adopted. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And autistic little boy that they adopted.
Is that she said, I forgot what who this channel is, but she's like, she made a video how she would talk about how she would never do that. And then she did it. You like, if you say stuff like that, you can't do what you say not to do.
And that is why, again, on the certifications, you specify what you can handle. If you can't handle an autistic kid or a kid with some other handicap or something, don't. And I remember like when I was reading their whole thing, I'm like, oh my goodness, they have that many kids. And then they also have like, that's a lot. I can't imagine. Like, that would be a very difficult life. Like, that's a lot to handle and put on yourself. So when they said they're adopting this kid, I remember kind of thinking, woof, that's going to be a handful on top of like the 4 other kids you already have.
You need to be fucking rich if you're going to get kids with like different disabilities and stuff. And that's a lot of fucking work.
You also have,
money.
Again, you have to be realistic in your expectations and what you can handle.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if you have some money and you can have some extra hands, like somebody that can help.
Right.
Especially like if you want to like go to the grocery store or something and it's too much or something for them to handle, or just anything that if you have an extra pair of hands for stuff like that, dude, your life will be so much easier.
I get why people were shading them. Like, totally. Like, that is...
Well, they used it to make money, or used their kid to make money, and then fucking...
It's kind of what it felt like, yeah.
It's not what it felt like. It's what it is.
But I also understand with what they were saying. Like, they were overwhelmed and didn't fully realize what they were totally getting into. Yeah, that's real, too. Having had, like, 8 other foster siblings like that have come through our house. Yeah, it's a lot to handle, you know, like especially if you don't have extra help. Or like, I mean, I just can't even.
You need the money too, to like.
I have a little bit of empathy for that, but at the same time, bro,
you need money for like people to help with the development, because if they have like handicaps and stuff, you need people to help to try to. So you can understand how to deal with them. But then you got to have like people that can help you with like them learning how to survive once you're gone and stuff. And you got all that money you're going to have to need. And if you don't got it, do not adopt.
Well, and then there's also...
I'm not encouraging people who aren't ready to do it.
They may not have fully understood what they were getting themselves into, and I get that. Like, it is a lot, so I have empathy on that side.
I have no empathy for them.
But at the same time, like, yeah, cool story, still murder, bro. I'm also thinking
they didn't murder the child.
Well, you get what I mean. Like
Rachel's new saying, cool story, bro, still murder. So it's like, no matter what you say, you still did what you did. Yeah.
Essentially. So like, you mean, I get it and I understand what all you're saying, but at the same time, you still did the thing. And I can't help, but also on the flip side of that, think of this little boy who has just now been rehomed, who's only known this family for like his life. Has now been taken away
his life.
from
He
it.
knew stuff before then. He was old
Not
enough.
much. He was like a year old when
I don't think he was a year old. No,
they had him for like 3 or 4 years.
He wasn't like a year old. He was like 5. Walking and everything.
Yeah, you're old.
No, but like I swear he was like, I don't remember how old he was, but he was more than. I saw a video. Like, obviously the face blurred out, but like I saw a video where like he looked a size where he could remember it at that age.
No, at least not on a cognitive level the way we.
He wasn't a little baby.
He was still pretty tiny. Yeah, he was still. That's the thing. He was with them.
But
for
regardless,
years.
even if you did remember before them, That's a long time to be with somebody and then all of a sudden not.
That's my point. Yeah. Because that messes with the kid. That can like do psychological damage and that can really like the kid can internalize that, or that can become like an issue in their lives, like abandonment issues and trust issues and all these things that can happen from that sort of thing. And it's sad. I mean, my parents were real. My siblings have other half siblings that we weren't able to take in.
There was an option to?
Well, every time that there was a new half sibling, we'd get a call. And my parents just had to, like, this is what we can handle.
Yeah.
This is what we can handle. I
couldn't imagine any more kids. Like, it's a lot. So, that'd be too many little feet running around. Fuck. So.
Speaking of siblings, another one of my favorites this year, Onward.
Okay, well, you just worded that really weird because you just said, speaking of siblings, one of my favorites are.
Well, one of my favorite things from this year was Onwards.
Yeah.
The movie Onwards.
So, but the way you made it sound like you were about to talk about a favorite sibling.
No, I love them all equally.
Right.
But yeah, that stuff, movies about sibling relationships always just punch me so hard in the gut. Frozen, oh my goodness. Do you want to build a snowman?
That was not this year.
Had me sobbing.
And
I know,
Frozen
but I'm
2 wasn't this year either.
No, it wasn't. But all I'm saying is that I'm talking about the sibling stuff. Like, that hit me deep because my little sister would literally knock on my door and beg to play. And so seeing that movie, I'm just like, it's a little too close to home. Sibling stuff always gets me.
It was like, you don't really notice that they put that type of story narrative in something until you're about to move away. And you notice like in everything.
Yeah. The bit in Onward.
There was another thing we watched where people were like moving away or something. You got It, Chapter 2. Or
we talked about that.
Chapter
how
1.
That got me.
Chapter 1.
That book like got me a little bit.
In the movie.
Because the ending of that book, even though, even these words are fading even now, but I just want you all to know that I love you. God, how I loved you. Oh.
I feel like there was something else we watched where it's like that was a little too on the head with moving.
But yeah,
I can't remember what the fuck we watched that would have that though.
I don't know. I liked Onwards because we get a brother relationship, which was super sweet and I loved it and they're adorable. And the moment that I was cool in that movie until the little brother starts thinking about like, he starts saying about how like he feels like he doesn't have anyone to guide him or blah, blah, blah. Or he doesn't really like, he didn't get to have this relationship with his father and to feel like he doesn't have any guidance or something. And then he flashes back to all this stuff that his older brother does for him. And like you see this like,
Wait, what are you explaining right now?
In Onward.
Yo, I haven't seen the movie yet. I just realized you were like describing something like, this doesn't sound familiar.
But anyways, that got me. Like just that, like as an older sibling, I remind my younger siblings a lot. He looks up to you. Remember that. She looks up to you. Remember that. Like, I say that to them a lot. Remember, he loves you. He looks up to you.
They don't know what that means though.
Kind of, yeah, they do.
No. Dude, we've had this discussion before. These kids don't understand the concepts like you do.
I'm not saying necessarily do, but I think that they understand more than we want to admit or realize.
So, because did you realize that stuff when you were that age?
A little bit.
Then you were too goddamn smart because most people don't.
I mean, I'm not saying entirely.
Get the concept of a role model. They see, but they don't understand that could be them. They don't even know. They probably can't even really understand what that is of like who they look up to.
They
That's
kind
just
of
a
can.
thing of their universe.
Mhm. They kind of can. I think that we underestimate kids in a way we probably shouldn't.
No, I don't underestimate it on that level. That's a lot to think of because you don't really understand the nuance until you get older.
I'm not saying it's I understand everything or all the, the way that an adult might, but, I think that we shouldn't underestimate kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just that bit in that movie of him like realizing I do have somebody in my life who looks out for me. I have somebody in my life who tries to guide me and be there for me. Like just realizing he does all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like as an older sibling, I try to really impress that into my younger siblings. Like they look up to you. Remember that. That's important. So the way you act influences them in a big way. You don't realize that bond is so important. And I love them exploring that sibling bond.
Well, you don't really realize how much people actually hear when you're talking to adults because you can't tell if they actually hear you or not.
Kids hear everything.
And if they do, they just don't acknowledge it and they'll move on. And if they act like they didn't hear you, then they didn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But kids, you'll say it once and somehow they get so dead locked on.
That's what I'm saying.
You said.
That's what I'm saying. Kids get more than we realize.
No.
They pay way more attention than we realize.
But you can see in their eyes that they don't understand certain concepts.
Again, it depends.
Because you also can think back when you were that age.
It depends. But I think in a lot of instances, we have more of an effect than we realize on these kids.
Maybe you.
Which is something that's important to remember.
I know what effect I have on kids.
But I'm talking about
That's
just in general.
I find them and I scare the shit out of them. Because I know it'll stick with them forever.
Okay, no, he doesn't. But my younger siblings do.
Not your siblings. My little siblings that I grew up with. I fucking I would torture them. I would scare them. I would let them know that I was going to scare them, but not at that moment. It was coming and they just wouldn't know when.
I was never a teasing
I played
older
mind
sibling.
games with them.
That was never me.
It was me.
I wasn't that older sibling.
I liked it. So.
That's funny.
Well, it's getting about that time. We need to end the show. So let me put on my shoes and my sweater to go. As we sit next to the train that comes through the brick arch. I'm making this all up straight from the heart.
Rip Mrs. Rogers.
Totally didn't plan that.
I thought you were.
Not at all.
I thought that was the reference you were making.
I totally forgot. Now my balls are against the wall. I fucking forgot about that.
I don't. Yeah, Mrs. Rogers just passed away earlier this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyways, peace out, y'all.
Peace out, motherfucker.